7 nanometers. No EUV machine. No ASML. No TSMC.
And yet, in August 2023, a Huawei Mate 60 Pro sold in Shenzhen tore open the entire Western export control regime in a single afternoon. Within 72 hours, TechInsights had disassembled the phone, photographed the die, and confirmed the impossible: a 7-nanometer processor, fabricated inside China, by a company the United States had blacklisted 4 years earlier. The chip was called the Kirin 9000S.
The fab was SMIC. And Washington had no idea it was coming.
Here is exactly how China built a 7nm chip without the one machine everyone said was non-negotiable, and why the next 18 months will decide whether Huawei's workaround becomes a permanent threat to TSMC, Nvidia, and the entire American semiconductor stack. Let's start with the machine at the center of everything.
In Veldhoven, Netherlands, ASML manufactures a device called the TWINSCAN NXE EUV lithography system.
According to ASML's 2024 annual report, each unit costs roughly $183 million, weighs 180 metric tons, and requires 40 freight containers to ship. It uses extreme ultraviolet light at 13.5 nanometers to etch circuit patterns thinner than a strand of DNA.
For the last decade, the consensus inside the industry was simple. If you wanted to make a 7 nanometers chip at commercial yields, you needed EUV. Full stop.
The Dutch government, under direct pressure from the Trump and Biden administrations, banned the export of EUV machines to China starting in 2019.
By 2023, even the older DUV immersion tools were restricted. China was supposed to be locked at 14 nanometers, maybe 10 if they got creative. Then the Mate 60 Pro hit shelves. This is where the story changes.
SMIC, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, headquartered in Shanghai, did something the textbooks said was uneconomical. They used a technique called multi-patterning on their existing DUV machines. According to a detailed teardown by SemiAnalysis published in September 2023, SMIC ran the same wafer through the lithography step 4 separate times, each pass etching a slightly different pattern. Stack those exposures correctly and you can approximate a 7 nanometers feature size using 1990s era ultraviolet light.
The catch?
Yields. Industry analyst Dylan Patel estimated SMIC's initial yield on the Kirin 9000S at roughly 50%, meaning half of every wafer was scrap.
At TSMC's Hsinchu fabs, a healthy 7 nanometers yield runs above 90%. The economics are brutal.
Each working Kirin chip reportedly costs SMIC nearly 3 times what TSMC charges Apple for an equivalent node.
But here is what nobody outside Beijing wants to admit. SMIC does not care about cost. The Chinese government is subsidizing the gap.
According to a Reuters investigation published in March 2024, Beijing has funneled more than $142 billion into its domestic semiconductor industry through the Big Fund and provincial vehicles since 2014. SMIC received an estimated $8.7 billion in direct state support during 2022 and 2023 alone. Huawei, sanctioned to the point of being unable to buy a single American transistor, was given priority access to every working Kirin die that came off the line. The state absorbs the loss. The geopolitical message gets delivered. And the message was received loudly in Washington.
Let's talk about the second front, the equipment Huawei could not legally buy, and how they got it anyway.
On a quiet street in the Zhongguancun district of Beijing, a company called C-Carrier filed a series of patents in late 2023 that stunned Western analysts. According to filings reviewed by Nikkei Asia in April 2024, C-Carrier, which has direct financial ties to Huawei, has been developing domestic lithography, etching, and deposition equipment that mirrors the capabilities of ASML, Lam Research, and Applied Materials.
They are not just copying. They are reverse engineering an entire supply chain.
Shanghai Microelectronics Equipment, or SME, demonstrated a 28 nm capable DUV scanner in 2024 according to Chinese state media.
That is still 2 generations behind ASML's best. But it exists. It works. And it is being iterated on every quarter. But here is where it gets complicated. The Kirin 9000S is not a one-off.
By late 2024, Huawei had taped out a successor, the Kirin 9010, and according to TrendForce's December 2024 report, SMIC had begun risk production of what insiders call the N+2 node, an effective 5nm process using even more aggressive multi-patterning. The yields are reportedly worse.
The cost per die is higher. None of that matters to Beijing.
What matters is that Huawei shipped over 60 million domestically fabricated smartphones in 2024 according to Counterpoint Research, recapturing the #1 position in the Chinese market from Apple.
Tim Cook's iPhone share in China fell 19% year-over-year. That is a real number. That is real revenue evaporating from Cupertino into Shenzhen.
Now for the third sub-angle, and this is the one that matters most for investors. On October 17, 2023, the Biden administration tightened export controls again, explicitly targeting NVIDIA's A800 and H800 chips, the modified, lower bandwidth versions Jensen Huang had designed specifically to comply with the previous rules.
Within months, Huawei's Ascend 910B AI accelerator began appearing in Chinese data centers.
According to a Financial Times report from June 2024, ByteDance, Baidu, and Tencent collectively placed orders for over 200,000 Ascend 910B units in the first half of 2024. The chip is reportedly 80% of the performance of NVIDIA's H100 on specific inference workloads. It is built on SMIC's 7nm process. And it represents the first time a Chinese-designed, Chinese-fabricated AI chip has displaced NVIDIA silicon at meaningful scale inside China. Jensen Huang said the quiet part out loud in May 2024. Speaking at a Stanford event covered by CNBC, he warned that Huawei is, quote, a formidable competitor and that NVIDIA's China revenue had collapsed from 26% of total sales to under 12% in 18 months. That is roughly $8 billion in annualized revenue that walked out the door. Wall Street largely shrugged because NVIDIA replaced it with hyperscaler demand from Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon.
But the structural risk is now baked in.
If Huawei can scale Ascend production to even 30% of NVIDIA's volume, the Chinese AI market, projected by McKinsey to reach $140 billion by 2030, is effectively closed to American chipmakers.
Permanently. Let me show you what this looks like on a map. Trace the supply chain. ASML in Veldhoven sells to TSMC in Hsinchu, which fabricates for NVIDIA in Santa Clara, which sells to OpenAI in San Francisco. That is the Western stack. Now trace the alternative. C-Carrier and SME in Shanghai supply SMIC, which fabricates for HiSilicon, Huawei's chip design arm, which sells to ByteDance and Tencent in Beijing. Two parallel semiconductor ecosystems are forming in real time. And according to a Brookings Institution analysis published in February 2025, the cost of decoupling these two stacks fully could exceed $1 trillion in lost trade and duplicated R&D by 2030. This is where investors need to pay attention. There are three immediate consequences. First, ASML's China revenue, which made up 49% of total sales in Q2 2024 according to the company's own filings, is on borrowed time. Once SME and C-Carrier hit 28nm domestic capability at scale, China stops buying. ASML stock has already absorbed some of this risk, but not all of it. Second, TSMC's pricing power on mature nodes weakens. If SMIC can produce 7nm chips at any cost, the floor under TSMC's N7 pricing erodes. According to Morgan Stanley's January 2025 Semiconductor Outlook, TSMC may see margin compression of 200 to 400 basis points on legacy nodes by 2027. Third, and most importantly, NVIDIA's total addressable market in China is structurally capped. Not because of US export rules. Because of Huawei. Here is the part nobody is saying. The export controls worked exactly as designed, and they failed exactly as predicted. They slowed China down by an estimated 3 to 5 years on leading-edge nodes, according to SemiAnalysis from late 2024. But they also handed Huawei and SMIC the political cover and state funding needed to build a parallel ecosystem they would never have built under free market conditions. Restriction created urgency. Urgency created investment. Investment created the Kirin 9000S. And now there is no putting that genie back in the bottle. So what happens next? Watch 3 signals over the next 12 months.
Signal 1, SMIC's reported wafer starts at the N+2 node. If they exceed 50,000 wafers per month, the 5 nanometers barrier is effectively broken.
Signal 2, see carrier patent filings for EUV-adjacent technology. Domestic Chinese EUV, even a crude, low-throughput version, could appear in prototype form by 2027 according to forecasts from the Information Technology and Innovation Foundation. Signal 3, Ascend 910C or 920 launch. If Huawei announces a true H100 competitor before mid-2026, Nvidia's China story is over for a decade. Let's come back to the question I asked at the start. How did China build a 7 nanometers chip without ASML? The honest answer is that they did not build it efficiently. They did not build it cheaply. They did not build it sustainably under normal market rules. But they built it. And in geopolitics, capability matters far more than profitability. The Mate 60 Pro was not a phone. It was a signal flare. It told Washington, Tokyo, and Amsterdam that the 4-year head start they thought they had was actually closer to 18 months. Every major semiconductor investment thesis written before August 2023 needs to be revised. The map has changed.
If you want to understand the next move in the chip war before mainstream media catches up, subscribe. I break this down every week. Next video, I am going inside SMIC's Shanghai fab to answer the question that should keep every Nvidia shareholder awake at night.
What happens when Huawei taps out a 3 nanometer chip and how close are they really? See you then.